Well, welcome along to another video. Today I'm back on my allotment. Not for very long because it's still extremely wet. There's puddles everywhere and the soil is just too wet and sticky to work. The 15th of January I planted out some garlic. Now this is the first time I've been over on the allotment since then because of the weather. So I'm just going to come over and see how it's getting on. I think it should be up by now, but you never know with all these things. So let's have a look, see if the garlic's up. Right, as you can see, one of the two garlics is actually up. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I can't remember whether that is the Eden Rose or the Garcua. Anyway, half of the garlic that I planted out is showing through, which I'm really quite pleased at. Hello and welcome back. Day before yesterday I went over to my allotment with the intention of just checking on the garlic that I planted about 3 weeks ago. I think it was the 15th of January when I planted the Eden Rose and the Garcua garlic over on the allotment. So day before yesterday was just, I went along just to see if they'd started to come through the soil, and half of them have. While I was over on the allotment I thought, well, it's not raining, so I'll just do a little bit of weeding, which led on to another little bit of gardening and a bit more weeding, and in actual fact I ended up staying over there for about 3.5 hours, which was quite useful really, because I don't think we've had a break of 3.5 hours without any rain for almost forever now. Today is much the same. We've had rain for most of the day, but at the moment it's just eased off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I've just nipped out into the back garden between the two sheds into my little seed planting area, and I'm going to plant some seeds. And what I'm going to be planting this afternoon is onion red Brunswick. Now I've got my white onions, my Elsa Craig are already germinating in the propagator. My shallots are just beginning to come through, so it's now time to plant the red ones. So onion red Brunswick. Then I'm going to be planting out some Statice. Now that is the Art Shades mix, and I'm going to then plant out some Lobelia Crystal Palace, Cosmos Sensation mix, Zinnia, the dahlia flowered mixed, and some Antirrhinums, or better known as snapdragons. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. So 3. Right, so what I'm going to do to start with is just put some regular peat-free compost through this sieve, so that I can get some much finer compost, so that when I plant the lobelias in particular into these little plug trays, then I'm not disturbing them too much. I think it's virtually impossible to plant a tray of Antirrhinums or Lobelia and then prick them out individually. So I like to plant them in those little plugs, and then you just keep them together as a little bunch of plants really. So that's my 5 little trays of little teeny weeny plug trays. Now I'm going to put those to one side, move them to the top there when I fill up some trays. Now the rest of the seeds, they don't quite need such fine compost, so I'm just going to use some regular compost to fill these trays. So not a bad afternoon's seed planting. We've got the Cosmos Sensation mixed, we've got the Onion Red Brunswick at the back, the Zinnia in the middle, the Lobelia Crystal Palace and the Antirrhinum down in these small, and here in these small plugs, and then at the back there I've got the Statice shades. Now most of those are all going to go into the propagator because they do need a little bit of heat to get them germinated, but there's one or two things in the propagator that I've taken out, such as the sweet pea seeds. They've all come through, or the majority of them have, so they can now come out, which will make room for this little lot. Right, so I'm just going to finish off this session now. I'm going to plant some spring onion. I've got a variety called Totem. I've not grown that before, so we'll see how we get on with that lot. And what I'm doing is I've planted the seeds into these individual modules. So the intention is then that once the seeds have germinated and the plants are of reasonable size and they're large enough to handle, then I'll just plant them out as a plug into onto the allotment. Now the reason why I like to do that is it's less fiddly, it's less faffing around, and you can harvest them as small bunches of spring onions. We're not sort of trying to get them to any sort of supermarket standard where they're all one bunch and they're all the same. That doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. So I'll plant them out as a little plug, as a little bunch, and I'll harvest them just the same. And finally then, to wrap this video up, I've been sort of getting out onto the allotment over the last few days, a few hours here and a few hours there. I've sorted out my raspberry canes, taken out the old canes that had the fruit on last year, and I'm just left with the new canes that will carry the fruit this year. Now I've also mulched the bed with some old wood chip and compost, which is what was left over from the project I did in front of the shed when I renewed the deck and the raised bed there. The little bed to the right of that is where I had my outdoor tomatoes. Again, the structure that was holding the tomatoes up has all been moved, and I've just got a nice layer of well-rotted farmyard manure on there. The path to the right of that has been reinstated, and the bed here has just got some chard and some leeks left in there, so all the statice and the beans and everything else has all been taken out. Right, that's it then for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit stop-start with the weather. Now, if you're watching this channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, because it certainly helps the channel to grow. And a big thank you to the 163 subscribers that I've got up to now. It's great to have you on board, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. So that's it for this one, and I will see you in the next one.